Yep. My background forms, I did drug screening. Obviously, yeah. No, sir. I need a clear.
I got the self-evaluation. So you do the whole thing. It's 20 points. Self-evaluation is 40 points. So it's not even.
Makes sense.
Federal government.
So, you did a great job. That's what we got. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I'm not that right here.
Okay, so I'm supposed to read my experience and I don't have access to create it. I don't know why you have to. And that's why I'm asking you if I can create it. But you haven't.
Yeah.
I know it's a really nice university. No waiting on it. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Gloss? How are you? I'm fantastic, thank you very much. Great to see you. I love my game. Okay, so I'm why. Just give me a second. Well, I already have one. I've already said so. Yeah, small group of us. I feel like I'm not sitting here by myself. Every time I call out a name. That's what I have. That's good. This is. Yes. Yeah, and so when people are talking and stuff like that, write stuff down, and I have my other pen here. Yeah. I try to organize it. This is like. Literally like. And when people were talking, like, girl,
Are the people online able to hear all right? Is everyone online able to hear all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect,
Yeah, we
thank
can
you.
hear you.
All right, I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:11 p.m. The University of Central Florida respectfully acknowledges that it is located on the traditional lands of the Ais, Appalachee, Calusa, Timucua, and Tocobago tribes, as well as the Seminole tribe of Florida and the Miccosukee tribe of Indians of Florida. Roll call and verification of quorum. Chair Gaudio.
Hagenbuck. Reed.
Present.
Olivia Smith.
Present.
Casimiro.
Present.
Capanos.
Present.
Wacker.
Present.
Critchfield.
Present.
Jane. Kelly Perez. Sherman.
Present.
Danae Smith.
Present.
Belulehi. Gentile. Greg.
Present.
Kaufman.
Present.
Lucht.
Present.
McNulty.
Present.
Miller. Patel.
Present.
Rashid.
Present.
Rubio.
Present.
Thompson.
Present.
El Harak.
Present.
Kanuja.
Present.
Cranova.
Present.
Rickett. Hader.
Present.
Macadia. Phillips.
Present.
Boivet.
Present.
Montañez.
Present.
Nunez Ferreira. Wynn.
Present.
Habgood.
Present.
Veronica Perez.
Present.
Barber.
Present.
Barrios.
Here.
Grosso,
Here.
Jones,
Present.
Matthews,
Present.
McGray, Nurse
Present.
Renda, Sharif,
Present.
Simmons,
Present.
Vieira,
Present.
Zivin,
Present.
Kalas. Present. 37 out of 49.
All right, thank you. Take a look at last meeting's minutes. And is there a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? And is there a motion to approve today's agenda? And any objections? Seeing none, is there anyone wishing to speak in open forum? Seeing none, announcements from the student body president, President Vicaria. Given by Chief of Staff Arbucci.
Hello? Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so from Shivani, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's week is going great. This week, I have started preparing for the upcoming Board of Trustees meeting on June 10th. Also, I have been able to successfully onboard every cabinet member, and we have finally began the preparation of planning and budgeting for upcoming events in the fall. Furthermore, I hereby appoint Colin Hoffner as Chief Justice, and additionally, I hereby appoint Seat 1, Victoria Gaudio, Seat 2, Gabriela Rodriguez, Seat 3, Caroline Greeno, Seat 4, Myla Chilongo for the Election Commission.
Are there any questions that the Chief of Staff can answer? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the student body Vice President Jones.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This week I finalized planning for the first ADSP meeting, which will be held this upcoming Monday. We will be electing the vice chair and going over some department updates. If you have any questions for me, just let me know. And also congrats to all the new justices going through confirmation tonight.
Are there any questions for the Vice President? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Comptroller Menke.
Good evening, everybody. Hope we're doing well. A little bit from me. Earlier this week, I met with Senate President Pro Tem Bork Hoffman to discuss the opening of the funding forms. As of now, we're set to open them this coming Monday, June 8th. I've also been sitting on as many SCC budget hearings as I can, which my work schedule allows. So I've been helping out with that. I'll also help with the final budget allocations for sports club programs tomorrow. That being said, account balances and reversion rates are as follows. CRT balance is at $6,157.97 with a reversion rate of 6.28%. FAO balance is $10,715.85 with a reversion rate of 5.87%. If you have any questions, let me know, please.
Are there any questions for the Comptroller? Seeing none, thank you. Attorney General's report, AG Ruiz Bordas.
Good evening, Senate. I hope you're all having a lovely week. Over this past week, I have been aiding with the scheduling of the Executive Committee meeting. It will be held this Friday. All details, as well as the meeting link, are posted on Night Connect. I have met with the Interim Chief Justice to discuss my role as a judicial advisor. I have also met with the digital media team at the OSI office to have the current AG opinion request form be updated. And I have been working on updating our government documents. I plan to be in the student government office this Tuesday and Thursday. If you need anything from me, please feel free to contact me on Teams.
Any questions for the Attorney General? Senator Capinos. Vice Chair Capinos.
I was just wondering if you had any information this time about the upcoming Board of Trustee meeting, if there's anything that you can speak on, what might be on the agenda or what they'll be talking about.
At this time, we're still kind of preparing, President Vicaria, but I'll let you know on Teams. I'll reach out to you.
Any further questions? Seeing none, thank you. Cabinet Forum, Chief of Staff Arbucci.
Good evening, Senate. This week, I continued onboarding our team following last week's confirmations. I've also been helping support operations with President Vicari to make sure communication stays consistent and that important projects continue moving forward while she is away. Additionally, I had the opportunity to sit in during Election Commission interviews this week.
Are there any questions for the Chief of Staff? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Interim Chief Justice. Interim Chief Justice Hoffman.
Alrighty, good evening, Senate. This week, the judicial branch has been continuing preparations for Associate Justice confirmations, and are super excited for you all to see those appointees tonight. I also had the opportunity to meet with Speaker Sherman and ILA Matthews this week to discuss ways the judicial branch can collaborate with the legislative branch this year, and I'm super excited to see where these collaborations go in the future. Additionally, I met with the AG today to discuss the judicial branch's impartial advising and student conduct processes, and I'm excited to continue working with her as she becomes more familiar with those services and our different trainings. And then please let me know if you have any questions, and have a great weekend.
Are there any questions for the Interim Chief Justice? Seeing none, thank you. Announcements from the Interim Supervisor of Elections, Interim Supervisor Callaway.
Good evening, Senate. The Election Commission has officially concluded interviews for seats 1 through 7, seat number 8, and seat number 13. We received a total of 14 applicants for 9 available seats, demonstrating a really strong level of interest in serving on the commission. Over the past 3 days, myself, Chief of Staff Arbucci, and Deputy Chief of Staff Lisman conducted interviews and were highly impressed by the professionalism, leadership potential, and enthusiasm displayed throughout the process. We're currently working through the final stages of the appointment process, and we look forward to welcoming a strong incoming class of commissioners. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the Interim Supervisor? Seeing none, thank you. All right, announcements from the Senate President. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good week, and if you're in any classes, that those are going well as well. This is important this week because we have to caucus for 4 judicial appointees to then be seeing 9 on the floor. We're not going to be having those 4 appointees re-give their speech to Senate. We're going to have all senators stay in the chamber and attentive for the entirety of the caucus, so that then those 4 don't have to re-give their speech, and that'll just ensure that we can get out of here as soon as we can. For next week, personally, I will be away because my family is coming to Disney, and I'll be staying with them. I'll still be back for Senate on Thursday, and you can reach me by text or Teams. I'll just not be physically in the office. Next caucuses will be starting at the end of June, so if you're interested in being a member, please take a moment to fill out the form that I have linked there. And then not this week, but next week, my office will be hitting the ground running on website updates. So if you have any changes that you'd like to propose, especially for committee leadership about their committee page, please let me know. And then a reminder that if you're emailing any administrators or other external entities, to please CC myself and ELA Smith. For correspondence within student government, please include either the ELA for exec or the ILA for judicial EC in the caucuses as well. It's important that my office has this kind of collaborative work on our radar, and we also may be able to provide some help. Quick update on our operations purchases. We have ordered our polos as well as name tags for Senate leadership, and we're currently working on ordering various merchandise items. Next thing, we do have 3 Ask Me About Student Government t-shirts that are left over from last session. And new this week in my office is a basketball hoop. So anyone who asks a question or debates during tonight's meeting is going to be able to take the chance to shoot at the basketball hoop and potentially win a shirt. Finally, I hereby appoint Caleb Montanez to the Agency and Department Strategic Planning Board. And before I ask for questions, it is Pro Temp Kaufman's birthday. And so I have a card for him. And if you guys aren't too opposed, I think we're going to sing as well. All right, there's the card. Okay, we're gonna start. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ryan. Happy birthday to you. That was beautiful. Any questions for myself? Senator Rickett.
Yes, Senator Rickett, President voting.
So noted at 6:23 p.m. Any questions for myself? Senator Capinos.
I just wanted to ask about the ASB appointed seat for being the Deezer. Is that to be expected going forward, or is that just up to the discretion of the speaker? I was just wondering how you came to that.
Yeah, it's certainly up to the speaker each year. My reasoning, and I spoke to Pro Tem Kaufman about this as well, is that the DSER is expected to be the liaison for Senate to the agencies and departments, so it felt like a pretty natural choice. But just going forward, each speaker is going to have that choice to make. Seeing no further questions, Internal Legislative Assistant Report, Eileen Matthews.
Hi, Senate. So this week we finalized the merchandise order for tabling and outreach. I'm going to list off everything that we are ordering, and the links are clickable on the Word. And I'm going to give a little bit of an outline of what each item is. So the first thing is going to be magnets. They're going to be business card size. Next is going to be keychains, then notebooks and sticky notes. All of this is going to have the UCF SG legislative branch logos on them. And again, you guys can click on all those and see the graphics. And big shout out to ELA Smith for designing all of these. They look great. This week, Speaker Sherman and myself met with the interim Chief Justice to discuss cross-branch collaboration between the legislative and judicial branches. And as well, these next couple weeks, I'm going to give a brief description of what services each branch in student government offers, just so we're all a little bit more familiar. So this week, I'm going to be giving an outline of the judicial branch. So this council is made up of 14 students. The Chief Justice works alongside the internal and the external Assistant Chief Justices to support this council. They're also going to be their liaisons in SGLC. There's going to be 5 judicial committees covering varying topics in this branch, and this branch works to protect and uphold the rights of the student body. They serve on appellate boards for parking, grade, and fiscal appeals, and the justices also serve as impartial advisors to the conduct and grade appeal process for the student body. If you guys want to further look into these services or just the branch as a whole, you guys can visit their section of the UCF SG website. And as always, please Teams me or email me with any of your guys' questions.
Are there any questions for the ILA? Seeing none, External Legislative Assistant Report, Eli Smith.
All right. Hello, everyone. I hope your week was awesome. This week, as the ILA said, I worked on creating graphics for tabling materials. They are finalized and ordered, so please check those out in her announcements. I also met with the Director of Communications, Zoe Malone. We discussed how we plan to work together this session. It went really well. And then finally, I started working on graphics for Senator's personal initiatives. I want to encourage everyone to reach out to me with any initiative ideas they want graphics for. I want to work with each of you to help your ideas come to life. So it is never a bother. So yeah, just reach out, Teams me, whatever works for you. But yeah, thank you.
Are there any questions for the ELA? Seeing none, Senate President Pro Tempore Report, Pro Tem Kaufman.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for the happy birthday song. That was beautiful. And thank you for those who signed the card. This was a very nice surprise for today. This week, I met with the leadership of GAP, SBA, and LJR. Next week, I meet with the rest of you all, so be on the lookout to schedule those. I also met with the comptroller and fiscal leadership to discuss the opening of the funding forums. As said before, they will be opening this Monday, June 8th at 10 a.m. This is for both the FAO and CRT allocations and fiscal bills. And lastly, Speaker Sherman and I met with the Deputy Chief of Staff to discuss Senate appointments, and those forms are live right now, which is very exciting.
Any questions for the Pro Tempore? Seeing none, Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs Report, Delia Capgood.
All right. Hi, everybody. A few things from me. First, starting next week, we will have pieces of legislation on second reading, which means we'll be reviewing and voting on them on the Senate floor. So please read the legislation beforehand so you're prepared. You can access legislation tracker with this link that is in the agenda, and that will be updated real time throughout the entire session. Second, I will be hosting a round of summer legislation workshops. These are optional, but highly encouraged to attend. The dates are Tuesday, June 23rd at 3 p.m., Thursday, July 9th at 1 p.m., Tuesday, July 21st at 3 p.m. They're open to all agents and geared towards senators. They'll last about 40 minutes, and I'll go over how to read fiscal legislation and write internal legislation at each one. If you're able, please come to one. It will be hybrid, so the in-person section will be in the SG conference room and online in the general Teams channel. There's a little link to some more details. And third, I made a little flow chart with a very simple overview of our legislative process. So take a look if you are unfamiliar, and please reach out to me with any questions, comments, or concerns. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the DLEG? Seeing none, Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations Report, Deezer Montanez.
Hello, my lovely people. Hope you're having a wonderful day. This week, I had my one-on-one with Ashley and laid down my general plans for the position. I am currently drafting my emails to send to all the OSI agencies, and the RSO list is to be determined as court needs to send an updated list. I will keep you all updated on that. Please look out for many upcoming forms I will be sending out regarding preferred RSO and event suggestions. I am hoping to get as much participation as possible, so please take the short time to fill them out when they do get sent out. I have also created a photo circle. Join, guys. And please put as many photos as possible, as I do have plans for them. Wink, wink. Last but certainly not least, please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns. I'm still new to this role, so bear with me, and please do not hesitate to give me any and all advice. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Are there any questions for the DSER? Seeing none, fiscal committee reports, CRT committee, Chair Jones.
Sorry. Hello, Senate. Today in CRT, we elected our vice chair. Congrats to Vice Chair Capinos. We also had our CRT orientation and played a fun game. Next week, we'll do a mock allocation and hopefully see a few allocations. Also, the funding forms will be opening on Monday, June 8th at 10 a.m.
Are there any questions for the CRT chair? Seeing none, FAO committee, Chair Phillips.
Hi everyone, this week FAO did a practice allocation to prepare for the upcoming fiscal year, and also, like we all said, funding forms will open on Monday the 8th at 10 a.m., so we're super excited for that.
Any questions for the FAO chair? Seeing none, ORS committee, Chair Casimiro.
Hello, everyone. This week we approved 2 VPFs and conducting 1 post-funding review, which resulted in no sanction. We also elected our ORS reps for FAO and CRT, so congrats to Chair Grosso and Senator Gregg for being elected. Additionally, I will start looking at the FAO and CRT master trackers so I can reach out about allocation reversions that are 20% or higher, and conducting post-funding reviews for those individuals / RSOs.
Any questions for the ORS chair? Okay. Seeing none, internal committee caucus time, ENA for 30 minutes. Just as a reminder, if you are in person, to remain in the chamber. And if you're online, to remain attentive. I recess this meeting at 6:30 p.m. to reconvene at 7 o'clock p.m. Yeah, if ENA wants to go to the center table, it's good.
Pro Tem Kaufman, if you're there, can you just let me know when I'm good to start?
Yes, give us. All right, we're ready.
All right, I call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. Roll call verification, a quorum, Vice Chair Gaia.
Chair Grosso.
Here.
I am present. Senator Rickett.
Here.
Senator Matthews.
Present.
Senator Nunez Ferreira. Senator Belurehi. Senator Boivet.
Present.
Senator Capinos.
Present.
Senator Smith.
Present.
Pro Tempore.
Present.
EC Rep. With that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 out of 9.
All right, thank you. Let's take a second to look over last meeting's minutes, and I'll take a motion to approve last.
So moved.
All right, let's take a second to look over today's agenda. And again, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Okay, announcements from the chair. Today we'll be moving through the last of associate justice appointments, which I believe there are 4. Question diary can be found in the miscellaneous documents folder. Once again, we have 30 minutes, so it's going to be pretty tight. So I'll try to keep things moving as fast as possible. Announcements from the vice chair.
None.
Okay, announcements from committee members. Announcements from non-committee members. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Isabella Ryan for seat 12. Is there a motion for a 333?
So moved. No?
Okay. Okay, Isabella, you have 3 minutes to give your speech whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Good evening, Senator. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for your time and consideration today. My name is Isabella Ryan, and I'm honored to seek Senate confirmation for Associate Justice seat 12 within the Judicial Council. I'm a rising sophomore studying elementary education in Palm Beach, Florida. Back at home, I started developing leadership skills in my high school student government for 4 years, including 2 years on the executive board. This experience granted me opportunities to learn more about working as a committee chair, parliamentary procedure, and outreach and representation across a wide variety of things. Over these years, public service and student advocacy have become personal passions of mine. I want to continue developing as I started attending UCF. Throughout the past year, I've been a member of the Student Government Leadership Council, serving as a part of the Experience Committee and getting to know and appreciate the basic operations of the church. This past semester, I have been a part of the Judicial Leadership Council, providing understanding of judicial committees, leadership positions, and student-focused services as a whole. I'm also grateful to join the branch in February as Associate Justice 12, allowing me to begin working within the committee and of the Judicial Council. Over the last couple of months serving in this role, I've started to work on some of my previous initiatives, such as a judicial branch-specific Robert's Rules of Order workshop that I recently kickstarted the President Committee, and an on-campus housing and residence life outreach project that I did in partnership with Associate Justice Johnson, already underway for the upcoming semester. In addition to the continuation of these projects, I hope to begin working on new initiatives, if confirmed, which are internal, the knowledge I have serving in the student so far. For example, I would like to work towards developing a standardized way to train new chairs, which is an established training guide to be administered here in judicial leadership, including parliamentary procedure and initiative organization modules. Sure, that committee chairs, regardless of their seniority in the branch or year of entry into the position, will receive adequate and uniform training and be well prepared for their responsibilities. Additionally, I would like to initiate discussions in partnership with the student government caucuses in order to reach as many demographics of students as possible. I believe that each caucus understands their political students and its best. By collaborating with the caucuses for Outreach Project, more students will be made aware of the many services that the judicial branch can provide. Confirmed, I would like to dedicate my time to continuing and beginning to work on initiatives by collaborating with the relevant judicial committees, such as the Precedent, Advertisement and Marketing, and Internal Rules Committees. In a matter of months, I have recognized firsthand the incredible impact of the services and assistance provided by the judicial branch. It's been an honor to serve this position. The work is consistently done within the council. It would be a privilege to be able to continue upholding students' rights as an associate justice for the upcoming term. Thank you so much for your consideration once again. I yield the remainder of my time for questioning.
Okay, we're in a 3-minute period of questioning. Are there any questions? I can't see everybody, so if you have a question, you can just speak up.
May I speak, Mr. Chair?
You may.
Thank you. So the question I would like to present to the candidate is, say the Judicial Council wanted to expand beyond 14 associate justices. Could you tell me what would be required to increase the size of the Judicial Council?
So I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that all of the requirements laid out to conduct a project such as this would be it. You guys, I'm sorry, I just saw the message that my connection is unstable.
I did not catch that answer whatsoever.
Sorry, I think my connection's a little unstable.
If you want to go ahead and turn your camera off, that may help with the connection.
Okay. Sorry about that. Can you guys understand better?
Slightly better.
We can hear you. It's just kind of shaky. Just go ahead and state your answer. And if we can't understand it, we'll let you know.
Okay. I apologize. Answer was, I'm not
for us to believe that all the information can be found in mostly Title V. I do think that is mostly, it's not 100% in decision. It wouldn't be up to the judicial discretion wholly. We probably have to go through the Constitution, aka it would have to be amended and approved by Senate. But I do want to learn more about that as confirmation. Hopefully I'm able to join the position.
Okay, any other questions? Once again, just go ahead and speak up because I can't see anybody right now.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
You may.
Yes, can the candidate tell me all the articles in the UCF Constitution, please?
Yes. So Article 1 would be the student body. Article 2 is the legislative branch. Article 3 is the executive branch. Article 4 is the judicial branch. Article 5, senior officer, and Article 6 would be the amending process.
All right, any further questions or a motion?
Can I make a motion to move to debate?
Okay, there's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none, we're not appear to debate. I'll go ahead and speak first. The candidate seems to have plenty of experience with student government, plenty of experience with the judicial branch, and I like their proposals, especially the one about committee chair training program. As someone who hasn't chaired before, I think it'd be very helpful. So I'll be voting in favor.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to move to vote. Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none. Vice Chair Gotti, could you do the roll call and then I will tally it?
Absolutely. Chair Grosso?
In favor?
I am in favor. Rickett?
In favor.
Matthews?
In favor.
Bouvet?
In favor.
Capanos?
In favor.
Smith?
In favor.
Pro Tempore?
In favor.
All right, with the vote count 8-0. We will see you in Senate later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the next candidate. Let me pull up the agenda once again. All right, Madison Bailey for seat 8. You have 3 minutes to give your speech whenever you're ready.
Can I move to extend speech time by 2 minutes for all candidates?
Yeah, there's been a motion to move to extend speech time by 2 minutes for all candidates. Are there any objections? All right, so now we'll do a 5-3-3. So 5 minutes whenever you're ready, Madison.
Good evening, ENA. My name is Madison Bailey, and I'm a rising sophomore studying biomedical sciences on the pre-med track with a minor in health sciences. I'm originally from a small town in New Jersey, just outside of Philly, but I've lived in Orlando for the past 7 years. As we encounter difficult times throughout our life, we remember the empathy and kindness we are shown. We remember the people who stood up to listen before casting judgment, the people who helped guide us to the next best step, and the people who showed up. Through every choice and action I make, I strive to lead with the same empathy I have witnessed others show me. During my time as a volunteer in the Trauma and Burn ICU at Orlando Regional Medical Center, I have learned the importance of empathy through service. A kind smile, a helping hand, or a listening ear can make the difference in the lives of those going through difficult times. This level of service directly translates to the type of service needed to serve on the judicial branch. Dedication to your work and the kindness you show others is essential when working with the student body. If confirmed, I hope to take this empathy with me to use in each and every case. It is essential to remember the cases we hear may have long-lasting effects on a student's academic career or their life. I would dedicate the time to learn all the necessary information and strive to remain impartial through each decision to ensure every student receives the highest quality service without any bias. When I first arrived at UCF, I had no intention of joining student government. However, the decision to apply for SDLC truly changed the trajectory of my college career, and I'm very grateful I took that risk. Getting to learn about the impact that SG as a whole has on the student body motivated me to get involved. I was deeply inspired by the mission of the Judicial Council, which inspired me to join the Judicial Leadership Council. Through mentorship, outreach projects, and mock hearings, I was able to develop the critical thinking skills and collaboration skills that I would use to hopefully apply to be an Associate Justice. Outside of student government, I'm a member of the Dean's Leadership Council for the Burnett Honors College and a member of the President's Leadership Council for UCF. Through these organizations, I've developed professional skills through serving as an ambassador. Additionally, the events hosted by both of these organizations require a high level of teamwork to ensure that everything runs efficiently and effectively.
If confirmed to serve an associate justice, I would use these skills to work with the rest of the justices, other SG agents, and the faculty of UCF to ensure that student government is working effectively for its students. If confirmed, I would like to focus my initiatives on judicial outreach. I believe that many of our resources are underutilized by students, and it is only when they are going through a parking appeal or a student conduct case that they're even aware the judicial branch is there to help them. During their first semester as a Burnett Honor Scholar, students are enrolled in a symposium class that focuses on introducing them to resources that will help them grow both professionally and personally. Partnering with the BHC and featuring the judicial branch would be a great way to advertise the branch to potentially 500 new students. This initiative could grow in the future to feature the other branches, SGLC, or the SG-supported agencies as well. The opportunity to serve as an associate justice, guiding students through these difficult moments and ensuring fairness in the proceedings of student government is one I do not take lightly. If confirmed, I would be committed to ensuring that as many students as possible are aware of the branch and SG as a whole, and committing to serve the entire student body with a level of empathy and impartiality. The role of associate justice requires a high level of organization, strong understanding of the governing documents, and a commitment to impartiality that I will strive to abide by each day. I would like to thank you all for caucusing today and hearing myself and my fellow appointees, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be considered for associate justice seat number 8. I yield the remainder of my time to questioning.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. We have 3 minutes for questioning. Take any questions. Again, just speak up.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Please go ahead.
Thank you. So could you tell me, under the judicial rules of procedure, some of the grounds on which an objection can be presented for a question?
So the judicial rules of procedure outlines many of our hearing procedures in the section titled for the hearing motions. Some of the objections can be made for a variety of reasons that are specifically outlined, and I'd be very interested in going to learn some of those specific objections, but many can be made if a instance of incorrect uses of the evidence or improper proceedings of an individual, but I would be more than happy to go through the JRP to get an exact answer for you.
Chair, I have a question.
I'll go ahead. I'll go first, then I'll go to, was it Pro Tem Kaufman who spoke?
Senator Capinos.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I'll ask my question first. What draws you to the judicial branch specifically?
So as a pre-med student, it's not often that you find yourself in something that is so policy focused. However, I believe that the judicial branch has a unique opportunity to help students individually that directly relates to many of my core values. The judicial branch showed me that through just the services we offer, we can make a difference on campus, and that's really why I fell in love with the branch. I want to be able to guide through students through those difficult processes that many of them don't understand and see the impact that we can make, because I believe anytime you can help one student, you are impacting the campus as a whole. And that's really my goal of why I came to UCF.
Thank you, Senator Capinos.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you for being with us today. I just have a quick question about, it's an opinion-based question. I wanted to hear out what you would think, what makes a successful and effective judicial panel.
I believe a successful panel is made up from those with different backgrounds and a different set of viewpoints on each case. The law outlines the policy that we are following. However, the students of UCF are a unique and diverse group of people, and having those backgrounds be diversified allows us to make the best decisions for them. An effective panel will use those backgrounds that they have, as well as their knowledge on the governing documents and the situation at hand, to ensure that every decision we make is the best for the student body. It is a fair and impartial decision, and we are not just using the viewpoint of one specific set of students or majors or viewpoints to impact the entire body as a whole, and we are instead using our own knowledge, our own opinions to work together collaboratively to find the best solution.
Mr. Chair, another question, if I may.
You may.
Going back to the judicial rules of procedures, Section 3 outlines the attendance policy. And so could you name some of the valid excuses for missing a judicial council event?
Many of the valid reasons for missing a judicial council event are those outlined additionally for the standard UCF policy, including if you have a prior commitment attending a UCF sanctioned event that you are unable to miss because you are attending it for the university. If you have an emergency considering with your family or your own health, those would be valid reasons, and those could be communicated with the Chief Justice in order to ensure that those policies are favored, because the attendance policy of the branch is very strict with 2 unexcused and 2 excused absences, and it is a statutory responsibility to attend all judicial branch proceedings.
Chair, I move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none, we're now at a 3-minute period of debate.
Chair, I have debate if I can.
I'll go for it.
I just want to speak on Appointee Bailey's character and her qualifications. I mean, speak for themselves. Looking at her resume, she's had a 4.0 all throughout her time in all of academia. So that's really impressive, first off. But I'm very satisfied with the answers that she gave. I think that she had some pretty hard questions. And I think she answered them very well and put her best foot forward in her character. Being a part of PLC and DLC and still, being a sophomore, going into your sophomore year, that's an impressive feat. And I think that you have a lot to bring to the judicial branch. And with that, I urge all of my fellow senators to vote in favor, as I will be doing. Thank you.
Sorry, can I make a motion to vote?
Yeah, there's been a motion to move to vote. Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair Gaudio, if we could just do what we did last time.
Chair Grosso?
In favor.
I am in favor. Senator Rickett?
I'm in favor.
Senator Matthews?
In favor.
Senator Boisvert?
In favor.
Senator Kapnos?
In favor.
Senator Smith?
In favor.
Pro Tempore?
In favor.
All right, with the bill count 8-0, you've passed your ENA. Massimo will see you in the Senate later. Thank you. Okay, appointee, is it Ayla Malami for seat 9? You have 5 minutes to speak whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Good evening, Senators. My name is Ayla Malamut, and I'm an incoming sophomore from Tampa, Florida, studying political science on the intelligence and national security track with a minor in legal studies. First, I want to sincerely thank you for your time and consideration tonight. I recognize the responsibility that comes with serving in student government, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak before you. Throughout my time at UCF, I have actively pursued leadership roles that have challenged me to grow in responsibility, communication, and accountability. As a member of Kappa Alpha Pi, a pre-law fraternity, where I was honored as outstanding new member, I have strengthened my commitment to professionalism and service within the legal field. I have also served as the Alpha Nu class president of Alpha Epsilon Phi, where I developed skills in leadership, organization, and communication. That role taught me how important it is to lead with consistency and fairness, which are values that directly translate to the judicial branch and its responsibility to uphold impartiality in student processes. My involvement in SGLC and JLC further introduced me to student government and the structure of the judicial branch. Through those experiences, I gained a deeper appreciation for how important it is that students feel confident the systems in place are fair, transparent, and accessible. That is what draws me to this branch, the ability to strengthen trust between students and the processes that affect them most. If confirmed, I plan to focus on 2 main initiatives that reflect those values. First, the Mock Judicial Review Hearing Initiative, which is designed to strengthen preparation, consistency, and confidence within the judicial branch. This initiative would be incorporated into Judicial Retreat and simulate real judicial review hearings, allowing justices to practice procedures, analyze case scenarios, and develop confidence in a low-stakes environment. By creating a realistic training environment, this initiative ensures that justices are prepared for cases and have the ability to polish their understanding of expectations. Ultimately, this strengthens fairness and consistency in every decision the branch makes. Second, I propose a parking services workshop in collaboration with UCF Parking and Transportation Services. Parking appeals represent one of the most common and impacted areas the judicial branch handles. This workshop would give justices a deeper understanding of parking policies, enforcement procedures, and common citation scenarios. The goal is not only education, but improved consistency and fairness in decision-making. By building this foundation, we can ensure students feel that their appeals are reviewed with clarity, context, and fairness. Both of these initiatives reflect my core priorities: strengthening internal preparedness, improving transparency, and ensuring that students experience a judicial branch that is both fair and accessible. If confirmed, I look forward to working closely with the Chief Justice and my fellow justices to implement these initiatives thoughtfully and sustainably. I am committed to serving with integrity, attention to detail, and a strong respect for the responsibility this role carries. Thank you again for your time and consideration. I yield the remainder of my time for questioning.
Okay, thank you. We are in a 3-minute period of question.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
You may, Senator Rickett.
Okay, for the candidate, can you go over the student grade appeals process and where the Judicial Council actually sits on there and what they actually do for the students?
Yeah, so I do know that all active justices will sit on a grade appeals board. However, I have not had the opportunity to actually shadow and observe a grade appeal through my time in JLC. I do know that I can further learn more about the process in the Judicial Rules of Procedure, which I look forward to doing and learning more about this if pending confirmation.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
You may, Vice Chair Gaya.
Thank you very much. Would you be able to tell me the maximum term of an interim Chief Justice under Title V?
Yes, so I do believe that it is, actually, I'm not entirely sure. However, I do know that I can find that answer in Title V, and I would love to get back to you by the end of the day with that answer.
I'll go ahead and ask the question. So for your Justice Wellbeing Program in your platform document, could you go into a little bit more specifics of what exactly that would look like? Would that be like a monthly meeting? How long would that be? Would attendance be required, et cetera?
Absolutely, yeah. So through JLC, I did sit in on general counsel meetings regularly, where I was able to kind of participate in a well-being program through Dr. Frame, which is kind of what steered me into this initiative. I do believe that it was super beneficial for justices. I think that if you're taking care of yourself mentally and physically, then it directly translates to the work that we do in the judicial branch and our effectiveness. So with this initiative, the timeline is kind of pending. However, I was thinking we would do a kind of well-being program once per semester. It would be required. It would be built into the general counsel time, which everyone is already at.
All right, thank you. I'll take any other questions or a motion.
Yeah, can I make a motion to move to debate?
It's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in a 3-minute period of debate.
Yeah, I'll debate for this candidate. I think they're really qualified. I loved the JAM resource binder. I think that's going to be a really good resource for you guys. And I thought their platform was really well thought out and impressive. So yeah, I'll be voting in favor, and I urge you all to do the same. And with that, move to vote.
You made a motion to move to vote. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, Vice Chair Gaya, if you could roll call.
Chair Grosso?
In favor.
I'm in favor. Senator Rickett?
I'm in favor.
Senator Matthews?
In favor.
Senator Boisvert?
In favor.
Senator Kapanos?
In favor.
Senator Smith?
In favor.
Pro Tempore?
In favor.
All right, with the vote count 8-0 to 0, you have passed your E&A. We'll see you in the Senate. Okay, last but not least, Daniel Cardenas, I think that's what it says. For seat 5, you have 5 minutes to give your speech whenever you're ready.
Good evening, Senators. My name is Daniel Cadenas, and I'm an incoming junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am studying political science with a minor in legal studies on the pre-law track. Thank you all for making the time today to see me and my fellow appointees. Today, I'm honored to be here before you all as Seat 5 Associate Justice confirmee. Throughout my academic, professional, and university experiences, I've consistently demonstrated the qualities of integrity, leadership, fairness, and attention to detail that are essential to be an Associate Justice. As an editor for the Undergraduate Law Review here at UCF, I work closely with the writer to review legal scholarship, ensure accuracy, and uphold standards of legal analysis and citation. So this role has strengthened my ability to evaluate legal publications and work with others. This past semester was my first semester joining the Undergraduate Law Review, and then subsequently I interviewed and became an editor of my own part of the journal. So this was completely new to me, but nonetheless, I was able to learn quickly as I wanted to prove why I'm passionate about the government and law. Additionally, my commitment to justice and public service was strengthened through my experience with the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration's Miami Field Division, where I supported community outreach initiatives, gained insight into criminal organizations, and observed the critical role that ethics, accountability, and public trust play in the legal system. If confirmed, one of my main goals would be to promote greater legal literacy among students. The judicial branch should not only uphold the rules, but also help students understand the process. Some students aren't familiar with the Student Government Constitution and the governing documents, plus the process available to them, so I would just like to help change that. This could be done through a Knights New Year Rights workshops, collaborations with more pre-law organizations, and more accessible guides that explain students how they can file complaints or appeals. Making this information more available and known would encourage greater student engagement and trust within our judicial branch. Throughout student government, the judicial branch as a whole, the Judicial Outreach Committee, the Judicial Advertising Marketing Committee, this can be achieved. With that being said, this opportunity would allow me to keep growing as a person and further develop my skills such as judgment, professionalism, leadership that are essential to my goal of pursuing a career in law and government. As a justice, I hope to help strengthen trust in the Judicial Council by promoting fairness, consistency, and transparency in every decision we make. My goal is to ensure that all students are heard, treated impartially, and represented by a system they can respect and rely on. I would be honored to contribute to a judicial council that upholds integrity and leaves a lasting positive impact on our student body. Thank you again, senators, for listening. I yield the remainder of my time for further questioning.
All right, we're in a 3-minute period of questioning. I will start us off. Appointee Daniel, so I see in your platform that you mentioned that you believe the judicial branch should provide opportunities for professional growth, inviting public speakers and guest speakers and all that. Is that limited to people within the judicial branch or to the greater student body as a whole? How exactly would you implement that?
So yeah, as we were talking earlier in Senate, integrating a collaboration with the other branches, I think it'd be a great idea to provide insight from other leaders from other branches and so forth, and professionals, for example, from law firms or for law enforcement per se. And I would implement that through public speeches or tabling events. Anything simple like that would work as well. And yeah, with using other committees throughout the judicial branch, I think it would be really be able to enhance so others can have some insight into a professional career outside of UCF, and make some worthwhile connections and find out if this is the career they really want to pursue, and then they would have more resources available to them themselves.
Mr. Chair, a question, if I may.
You may.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could the candidate please describe to me Article 1 of the Student Body Constitution, what it contains, and sort of what it details?
So yeah, Article 1 of the Constitution would be the student body per se. That would explain, the jurisdiction. Every student is a part of the student body, and the UCF Constitution entails more. And I would be happy to let you know more of that if you'd like.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
You may, Senator Rickett.
Okay. Can the candidate explain some of the eligibility requirements if a student wants to submit a parking appeal to the Judicial Council?
So yeah, so with the parking appeal process, we are the second body that hears a person's complaint, as though we first go through parking transportation services, and then we would go ahead and approve their appeal and listen to it in a hearing per se. There's eligibility would be to respond in submit their complaint in a timely manner through Night Connect, and I'm sure they have all their documents present with them.
Chairman, I have a question, if I may.
You may, and that'll be our last question, unless there's a motion to extend the questioning period.
Thank you, Chairman. And thank you for being with us today, candidate. I just have a quick question. I wanted to speak on your platform. You mentioned that the judicial branch represents a foundation of fairness and accountability within student government. If you went through a hearing and let's say you saw a rule that you didn't agree with and you thought that it goes against the students' best interests. What would you do to go about changing that, or what would you do in your capacity as an associate justice to amend that?
So yeah, per se, if the rule I would say wasn't fair and per se wasn't in violation of any government document, then I would have it judicially reviewed through that process. If per se I personally had an opinion on it and I personally didn't like that, that doesn't qualify as grounds for a law being amended or per se removed. So I would leave that then to my further associate justices if it was a conflict of interest for me, but otherwise that's it.
I have a motion to move to
All right,
debate.
there's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none, we're in a 3-minute period of debate.
Chairman, if I may speak.
You may.
Knowing the candidate personally, I believe he's a great fit for the role. I believe his initiatives are also great, so I'll be voting in favor.
Mr. Chair, I move to vote on this appointee.
There's been a motion to move to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Vice Chair Gaia.
Chair Grosso?
In favor?
I am in favor. Senator Rickett?
In favor.
Matthews?
In favor.
Boisvert?
In favor.
Capanos?
In favor.
Smith?
In favor.
Pro Tempore?
In favor.
All right, with the vote count of 8-0, you've passed through E&A. We'll see you in Senate. Thank you for coming today. All right, move on to miscellaneous business. Move on to member discussion. Is there any member discussion? All right, seeing none, I will take a motion.
Motion to adjourn this meeting pending final roll call.
Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair Gaia.
Same as initial.
Okay, I adjourn this meeting at 7:04 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
All right, I reconvene this meeting at 7:05 p.m. Internal committee reports, E&A Committee Chair Grosso.
All right, hello, everybody. This week we worked through all associate justice appointments, of which there were 10. Next week we plan on completing today's elections commissioner appointments. The appointments seen this week were as follows: Ryan Hansen for seat 13, 6-0. Sheridan Munich, seat 2, 6-0. Sarah McCormack, 6-0 for seat 4. Zoe Cooper, seat 10, 6-0. Amelia Drury, seat 11, 5-0. Naisha Francois, seat 14, 5-0. Isabella Ryan, seat 12, 8-0. Madison Bailey, seat 8, 8-0. Ayla Melamu, seat 9, 8-0. And Daniel Cadenas, 8-0 for seat 5. Ryan Hansen will not be available for today's Senate meeting. Huge thanks to the committee and to Senate for bearing with me while I'm abroad. I look forward to being back in person next week. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the E&A Chair? Seeing none, GAP Committee Chair Reed.
Hi, Senate. Today we had a quick meeting discussing the current structure of Florida government. In the next coming weeks, we'll be learning about bill briefs and the upcoming elections, as well as working on the legislative priority survey for Day at the Capitol.
Are there any questions for the GAP Chair? Seeing none, LJR Committee Vice Chair Rubio. All right, I can read them out. Chair Gaudia says, good evening, Senate. In addition to absences, we discussed adjustments to Senate Rule 8, as well as handling blanket excuses in the future. Their votes were as follows. Chair Gaudia, if you'd like to give your announcement.
My timing is impeccable as always. Good evening, Senate. In addition to absences, we discussed adjustments to Senate Rule 8, as well as handling blanket excuses in the future. You may find our votes down below. Most notably, we approved both blanket excuses for Hema Kanuja and Daria Karnova, 6-0. Please make sure that you all are staying up to date on your unexcused absences. As a reminder, you have 10 academic days from the end of a meeting to request absence excusal. Join the committee. We're small and lively, and you'll get a good taste of the back end of Senate. That is all for me.
Are there any questions for the LJR chair? Seeing none, SBA Committee Chair Perez.
Hello, everyone. Last week we elected our vice chair. Congratulations to Vice Chair Simmons. Tomorrow we will be looking through our concern form, initiative tracker, and other important materials to make sure each committee member is familiar with the different resources within SBA. Additionally, I will be out of the country for the next 2 weeks. I will still be available through Teams, but I ask that you contact Vice Chair Simmons for any urgent matters, as it may take me longer to respond due to the time difference.
Are there any questions for the SBA chair? Seeing none, we'll move into confirmations, and I'll take a motion for speeches, questioning, and debate. Senator Casimiro.
Motion for 555.
There's been a motion for 5-minute speeches, 5-minute questioning, and 5-minute debate, and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, first up is Isabella Ryan for Associate Justice seat number 12.
Will you read my speech or go into questioning?
You're so right. Yeah. So yeah, moving into 5 minutes of questioning for this candidates. Are there any questions? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debate. Eli Smith.
Yeah, this conferee was super well spoken in E&A. I really enjoyed hearing their speech, and I will be voting in favor, and I urge you all to do the same.
Senator Barrios.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 29-0, Isabella Ryan is confirmed as Associate Justice seat number 12.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Sarah McCormick for Associate Justice seat number 4, and you'll have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Is this Good evening, student body senators. My name is Sarah McCormick, and I am from Melbourne, Florida. I am a UCF student planning on graduating in fall 2027 and majoring in biomedical sciences on the pre-medical track. I'm honored to be standing in front of you today. I want to personally thank you all for being here and listening to the words of myself and other appointees. This process requires an immense amount of patience, so I thank you for your hard work and dedication as we continue on. There is a quote saying, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." This was a quote by President John F. Kennedy in 1961 when he was delivering his inaugural address as he assumed the presidency. This quote is known as both the call to civic responsibility and to public service. In fact, when I heard this quote for the first time in middle school, it led me down a path of exploration and my understanding of what I truly want for my own life, which is to be a part of something much greater than myself. As a freshman, I attended Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and was a part of the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps. I had the honor of attending this institution on an Air Force ROTC scholarship alongside receiving a congressional nomination from Florida Representative Bill Posey in 2023 for my application to the United States Air Force Academy. During my time in this program, I held a variety of leadership positions, such as a General Military Course Flight Commander, Standardization Officer, and Physical Fitness Officer. My time in ROTC challenged me to think critically about what it means to serve my nation, prioritizing organization, readiness, and crisis management. All of these skills that I continue to carry with me today.
When I made the decision that was no longer my path, I attended Eastern Florida State College, where I completed my AA degree and began exploring my other career aspirations. Now, as a pre-optometry student at UCF, I am honored to say I have been a part of some incredible organizations that pride themselves on service. In my first year at UCF, I had the honor of participating in the Student Government Leadership Council and then the Judicial Leadership Council. This opportunity gave students a firsthand look at the judicial branch and its responsibilities in student government. Within JLC, I have learned many lessons in procedure, parking citation appeals, and more. In addition, I am also part of the Pre-Optometry Association and a student employee at the UCF bookstore on campus. Outside of campus, I am a website manager for a local nonpartisan campaign, and I shadow various eye clinics such as Atlantic Eye Consultants in Brevard County, Florida. All of these opportunities allowed for me to learn how to adapt, communicate, and remain organized. Once again, these skills alongside my prior ones allow me to continuously evolve in what it means to serve my community. As a transfer student, one of my main initiatives is to expand straightforward communication for all students. I am excited to share the Digital Accessibility Initiative. This would focus on creating a chatbot tool within the student government website, much like Nightbot resource on the UCF official website. This tool would allow students to select a question relating to any student government service, and an answer would automatically be generated within the tool using the website contents. This would be a collaboration between the Judicial Outreach Committee, website designers within the Office of Student Involvement, as well as registered student organizations such as the UCF programming team to create this tool for all students. This project would begin as an add-on to the judicial branches section of the website, and afterwards, the other branches would have the opportunity to expand and add this tool to their respective sections. With this knowledge, as well as my past experiences, I feel a calling to serve my school community in a way that not only gets tasks done, but to do so in a way that exemplifies what UCF is all about, community. The Associate Justice position is a position that would allow direct assistance and support to all UCF students. And in this role, I would continuously work and exceed any and all standards relating to service. Within matters of impartial advising, upholding student rights, parking appeals, and grade appeals, I would continuously work to make UCF students the priority, while also remaining fair and impartial for all matters within the branch. I feel that service is not only a responsibility, in fact, it starts at a calling, and it is the drive behind everything I choose to do and the reason I'm standing in front of you today. Thank you for listening, and I yield the remainder of my time for questioning.
All right, thank you. We're now in line for 5 minutes of questioning. Are there any questions for the candidates? Senator Callis and Senator Bove.
First, thank you so much for being here. So my question is that in the JRP Section 2, there are 15 responsibilities for the Associate Justice. Could you name at least 3 of them?
Absolutely, Senator. Thank you very much for your question. So 3 responsibilities of the Associate Justice position are to remain fair and impartial for all matters within the judicial branch, to serve as a mentor for the SGLC and JLC organizations, as well as complete various trainings such as the diversity training, grade and fiscal appeals training.
So being a fellow pre-med student, it could be tough to balance classes along with extracurricular activities and leadership positions. How do you plan to stay focused on this role?
That's a fabulous question, Senator. Thank you very much. So one of the things that I have learned, quite frankly, the hard way last semester was that I am a very visual person. I need to write something down in order to get something done. So as a result, I have implemented a lot of different strategies to assist me with this. I have prioritized more staying organized with agendas and, of course, whiteboards and the wonderful use of sticky notes as well. And I am so incredibly grateful and honored to be considered for this position. And I even have plans to cut back on my current extracurriculars, so I am able to take this on more fully.
Any further questions for the candidate? Senator Barry, Senator Capinos.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you for being with us today. I just want to ask you, I asked this question before, but what does judicial integrity mean to you? And how would you go about upholding it?
That's a fabulous question, Senator. I thank you very much. Judicial integrity means upholding fairness in any and all matters relating to student government. So in this case, judicial integrity, its main priority is to uphold what is directly in front of you. So in this case, upholding the JRP, upholding the Constitution, all of these governing documents were made for a reason. And it is our responsibility as a branch to uphold them.
Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debate. We'll go Chair Reed and then Senator Barrios.
Yeah, so I'll be voting in favor of this individual. It's very clear that they are extremely well-rounded and committed to everything that they do. I especially enjoyed their initiatives, and I'm very intrigued to see where they go with that. And so with that, I'll be voting in favor and encourage you all to do the same.
Ms. McCormick has demonstrated a tenacity for this role that is seen in her resume and her platform, and I encourage you all to vote for this candidate. With my debate time, I find it pertinent to note my personal philosophy for questioning and debating. I believe we look for skills and qualifications in these candidates and that we all acknowledge they are not indexes. Having experience speaking in front of the Senate body, it is very stressful, and I ask that my peers please ask questions that could sway their mind, and while not targeting any specific person, utilize debate that you believe the body is not aware of. Just to add on to it, these candidates have been screened twice. I have faith in ENA. So with that, let's get the ball rolling. I move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Senator McNulty, is that an objection? All right. Seeing no objections, we're now in voting procedures. All right, the vote count of 32 to 0 to 0. Sarah McCormick is confirmed as Associate Justice Seat 4.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Madison Bailey for Associate Justice Seat number 8. You're welcome to come up and we'll go right into questioning. Are there any questions for the candidate? Do you like Hapgood?
Hi, I noticed in your proposal you did mention working with the Honors College and Honors Symposium and having a bit of judicial outreach there. To my knowledge, SG has been present at Honors Symposium the past 2 years, but it was more focused on SGLC. So are you proposing that we have an additional session, maybe if the Honors College is amendable, with judicial outreach, or having just some of that SGLC time devoted to each of the branches or specifically judicial?
Thank you for your question. So all speakers who speak at Symposium, if they are not an organized speaker, a part of the Symposium series, are voluntary. They reach out to either Dean Marty or Jenna to have that speaking time. So I propose that we just come on our own day. I think it's important that we get SGLC out there and try to get as much outreach. And I propose for the Honors College because that is around 500 students each fall. So we can guarantee that we are getting a strong amount of students each fall before proposing to go something bigger, including new student and family programs. So I propose that we go on our own day and just speak to students in our own 5-minute presentation, as well as the SGLC presentation, to just ensure that SG has as much representation as possible.
Chair Reed.
Thank you. Is there a particular initiative that you're looking to prioritize in your time as Associate Justice? If so, which one?
So the honors one, I think, is a great one to start with and hit the ground running. However, I am very excited about my interbranch collaboration. As we all talked about, collaboration is really important. And I think that starts at just getting to know each other and respect each other on a personal level. Everyone has more fun when they know each other, they know who they're working with. And the students will feel more represented by the student government if they know that we are working together to help them rather than staying in our own separate branches in the election commission. So I think once a semester events, we all have our own experience committees or roles dedicated to experience. So collaborating with them to bring the branches together in a way that we can develop those personal bonds, I feel like would be great for the students as a whole.
Vice Chair Capinos.
Motion to move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debate. Chair Reed.
I will be voting in favor of this candidate because they clearly knew everything when they were in ENA, and their knowledge of the statutes and judicial rules were outstanding and questioning. Additionally, as I've had the opportunity to work closely with this individual, I can say with full confidence that she puts 110% into all of her responsibilities and roles. She's not afraid to try new things and is eager to continue to learn and grow as a leader. I have full confidence that she will take the role of Associate Justice beyond expectations, and I look forward to seeing all that she does.
Vice Chair Capinos.
May I retain?
You may.
To echo the same sentiments, and I'm sure the body heard my 2 cents during E&A, but to speak into this individual's character, I've also had the chance to know her personally, and she goes above and beyond everything that she does. Her academia, her involvements, I think that she will bring really good insight into the judicial branch and change it for the better. And with that, I urge everyone to vote in favor. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote in a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 31 to 0, Madison Bailey is confirmed for Associate Justice seat number 8.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Ayla Melema for Associate Justice seat number 9. Are there any questions on this candidate? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debate. Anyone wishing to speak in debates? D-Like Havgood.
I thought this candidate spoke very well and she was very knowledgeable. And she was in JLC as well as SGLC. So she's got experience too. And I think she'd be a great addition to the judicial branch.
Vice Chair Sharif.
I've had the opportunity to work with this individual within SGLC. I've seen the way she's worked, put her whole effort into it, along with seeing in the spring semester just how much work she's put into JLC. So I would recommend voting for this candidate, as will I.
Senator Barrios.
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 31 to 0, Ayla Melema is confirmed for Associate Justice seat number 9. Next, we have Zoe Cooper for Associate Justice seat number 10.
Good evening, Senate. My name is Zoe Cooper. I'm an incoming sophomore from Pembroke Pines, Florida. I'm studying political science and public administration on a pre-law track. I want to thank you all for seeing me and committing your time to this process. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself and share my interests in this role. During my time in SGLC, I became interested in the judicial branch and how it serves the student body. What initially stood out to me was the role the branch takes in ensuring fairness and supporting students during difficult situations. My appreciation deepened understanding of the branch's internal processes and the dedication that goes into maintaining the branch. I'm passionate about supporting the student body and ensuring others know they are not alone. I feel the judicial branch has the ability to carry out this purpose by providing guidance to others during stressful times. My volunteer work as a youth leader at my church has educated me on the importance of supporting others. In this role, I work and experiences helping them navigate issues and resolve conflicts. In these situations, I learned to prioritize active listening, working to ensure others feel supported. Others who show me the importance of keeping an open mind during taxing situations. I also learned sometimes people just want to know that their concerns are valued. These experiences strengthen my ability to communicate thoughtfully and work with others in a respectful and productive manner. I believe these qualities will allow me to serve effectively as an associate justice and contribute to the branch positively if confirmed. Additionally, my involvement as percussion captain in my high school band program has allowed me to develop leadership, accountability, and attention to detail. In that position, I was responsible for my own preparation and guiding and supporting members of my section. Here I learned the importance of leading by example and creating an environment where people feel encouraged and supported. Prior to attending UCF, I was also involved in my high school student government, where I advocated for my peers and gained valuable leadership experience. That role strengthened my ability to listen to others, represent diverse perspectives, and approach challenges thoughtfully and professionally. It reinforced my interest in public service and working with organizations dedicated to supporting others. During my freshman year at UCF, I attended a couple meetings for the National Black Law Student Association, and I intend to further my involvements by becoming an active member in the fall. I also plan to become involved with the Knights Pre-Law Association as I continue to pursue my interests in law and public service. Through these organizations, I hope to continue to develop professionally and surround myself with individuals of similar values. Additionally, my involvement with the SGLC Knight Dawn team has allowed me to contribute to an organization centered around service, outreach, and advocacy. Through this experience, I gained a greater appreciation for the impact student organizations can have on supporting others and building community. Being involved in this strengthened my passion for helping others and contributing to organizations that prioritize support and student engagement. If confirmed, one of my goals would be improving awareness of judicial services. I believe many students are unaware of the resources available to them or may feel intimidated seeking support. Because of this, I believe outreach and visibility are extremely important. In particular, I would like to focus on outreach to international students. I understand that these students may need a lot of support adapting to completely new social and academic environments and may not fully understand the resources available to them through the judicial branch. I would like to work with the Judicial Outreach Committee as well as UCF Global to explore opportunities for the judicial branch to participate in events for international students and share information about available resources and services. I believe building stronger visibility within the student body could help students feel more comfortable approaching the branch when they need assistance. I would like to strengthen outreach efforts by collaborating with UCF about information about judicial services through web course announcements, particularly at the beginning and end of each semester when students may need guidance and support with academic concerns. If confirmed, I would dedicate myself to supporting the functions of the judicial branch through impartial advising, grade appeals, parking appeals, and other responsibilities required of the role. I would strive to contribute to an environment where students feel supported, and I would use my time to learn from other members of the branch to serve the branch to the best of my ability. I'm confident my experiences, leadership skills, work ethic, and passion for supporting students will allow me to make meaningful contributions to the judicial branch if confirmed. Thank you all for your time and consideration. I yield the remainder of my time for questioning.
All right, thank you. We're now in line for 5 minutes of questioning. Are there any questions for the candidate? Eli Smith.
Hello. Can you go more in depth on like the process that you foresee taking tabling at UCF Global?
So from what I understand and looking at their events, I know that they have a welcome event for incoming students. So I think it would be really helpful for the judicial branch to pass out media and to just really let students know that they're there to support them and also inform them on common violations or common mistakes other students made so that those students can avoid making those mistakes.
Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debates and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in line for 5 minutes of debates. Sorry, I can't see that. Oh, Chair Jones and Vice Chair Sharif.
Yeah, this candidate seems very qualified. I feel like she has a lot of really fresh and new ideas, from her tabling with UCF Global to her partnership with Volunteer UCF with parking violations, as well as like her monthly update for like the stories, like partnering with the Division of Communications. I feel like she has really good and fresh ideas, and I'll be voting in favor, and I urge you all to do so.
Vice Chair Sharif.
Hi, so I've had the opportunity to work with Zoe along with Nighthon and SGLC. Zoe's always somebody that's there. She's been a consistent within the office even last year. And another thing is I really do love her initiatives of bringing more visibility into the judicial branch, and I encourage everyone to vote for her.
Any further debate? Senator Barrios.
Move to vote.
There's a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 33 to 0 to 0, Zoe Cooper is confirmed for Associate Justice seat number 10.
Thank you.
Next is Amelia Drury for Associate Justice seat number 11.
Good evening, Senators. My name is Amelia Drury. I come to you all today as an appointee for Associate Justice seat number 11 on the Judicial Council. I'm an incoming sophomore from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and am currently studying political science on the pre-law track. I want to thank you for taking the time to meet my fellow appointees and I. We understand this process is long, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to introduce myself this evening. Throughout my first year at UCF, I've been involved in various leadership opportunities that have fostered my interest in student government, advocacy, and creating a positive on-campus experience. These include the Residence Hall Association, the Service Dog Training and Education Program at UCF, the Student Government Leadership Council, and eventually the Judicial Leadership Council. I served as the Vice President of the Northview Area Council within the Residence Hall Association. In that role, I advocated for student needs, collaborated with my team, and helped build a strong community. This experience taught me how to build community and collaborate with my team. This experience taught me the importance of strong communication, accountability, and teamwork. While participating in SGLC, I gained valuable insight into the student government's operations and how it impacts students across campus. This experience sparked my interest in the judicial branch and its role in supporting students. This interest eventually led me to JLC, where I gained a deeper understanding of the judicial branch and how it supports students in campus organizations. Through the JLC program, I learned more about the judicial rules of procedure, the Constitution, statutes, and other governing documents. Learning about the different services the judicial branch offers to the student body, gaining experience planning a future campus-wide event, and speaking one-on-one with mentors made me fall in love with the branch and want to pursue a seat on the council. Through these experiences, I developed several goals and initiatives that I hope to contribute to if confirmed. One initiative that is especially important to me is increasing freshmen awareness of the judicial branch's services as well as programs such as SGLC. Many students are unaware of the extent of services offered by the judicial branch. Partnering with the new Student and Family Programs Office to incorporate judicial outreach materials into orientation will greatly increase transparency while encouraging interested students to get involved. I've created a potential brochure listing and describing the different services and opportunities within the judicial branch, which is attached at the end of my proposal. If confirmed, I would present the brochure to the branch and work with JOC to create tabling or presentation materials. Since orientation has already begun, I would reach out to the NSFP office immediately to start judicial outreach and plan next year's orientation. Additionally, I would partner with UCF Housing and Residence Life to promote judicial branch services and opportunities. Many students live on campus or pass through on-campus living communities daily. We would use flyers and work with resident assistants to share information regarding opportunities within student government and services the judicial branch offers, like grade and parking appeals. Lastly, I would love to strengthen the networking and mentorship opportunities across student government. Strengthening connections among current members, alumni, and local legal professionals would provide guidance and professional development opportunities for students interested in law, advocacy, or leadership. I would collaborate with JEC, the judicial branch leadership, the legislative branch, and the executive branch to determine which information alumni are willing to share voluntarily for networking purposes, and reach out to local businesses and organizations. It would be an organized contact sheet with names, positions, contact information, career goals, UCF involvement, LinkedIn profile, and preferred communication methods. We would make the networking sheet accessible to student government agents through an internal platform that ensures privacy. If confirmed, I plan to take action on each of these initiatives. Furthermore, if offered the opportunity to serve on the Judicial Council, I would like to serve on the Judicial Outreach Committee because I am passionate about student engagement and because it would allow me to see my freshman awareness initiative through. Additionally, I would like to sit on JEC and JAM because they would allow me the greatest chance to pursue my other initiatives. In the future, I hope to attain my Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Bachelor's in Health Sciences. After this, I plan on attending law school and working in health law and malpractice. If I'm lucky enough to be confirmed as an Associate Justice, I hope to bring my experiences and knowledge from the judicial branch into my professional career. Once again, I want to thank you all for taking the time to consider me for the Associate Justice position, and I yield the rest of my time for questioning.
All right, thank you. We're now live for 5 minutes of questioning. Senator Callis.
First of all, thank you much for being here. So my question for you is, in your initiatives, you have your second initiative that talks about the outreach podcasts. Could you talk about what exactly you see yourself talking about on this podcast?
Yes, thank you for your question, Senator. So as a justice, of course, there are certain hearings that are closed to the public, so that information would not be allowed to be shared publicly. But what I would hope to do is to have weekly or monthly, almost podcast-like interviews with members of the Judicial Council. That way, students can get to know what exactly the justices are working on, as well as get to know them kind of on a personal level and put a face to that name.
Senator Barros.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debates and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debates. Eli Smith.
Yeah, so I remember this candidate from ENA. They impressed me there. They have impressed me now. So yeah, I'll be voting in favor, and I urge y'all to do the same. And with that, move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 33 to 0, Amelia Jury is confirmed for Associate Justice seat number 11.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Sheridan Munak for Associate Justice seat number 2. You'll have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Hello, Senate. My name is Sheridan Munak, and I am an incoming senior from South Florida. I am majoring in legal studies, am on the pre-law track, and hope to become an attorney one day and possibly even a judge. I chose legal studies because I believe in a government that truly works for its people and want to ensure each and every person is represented fairly. I declared my major in the spring of my sophomore year, and I immediately immersed myself in the study of law. Soon after, I applied and was selected to join UCF's moot court team. Through that experience, I truly fell in love with the law. Over the next 9 months, I conducted rigorous legal research, crafted very complex appellate arguments, and even had the opportunity to compete nationally. Although moot court and law itself was entirely new to me, I finished the season ranked among the top 0.7% of individual advocates nationwide. And I also helped contribute to UCF moot court's team's top 10 advocacy ranking. While student government is also a completely new environment for me, I have consistently demonstrated the ability to step into unfamiliar roles, adapt quickly, and produce meaningful results. I've been searching for an opportunity like judicial counsel since declaring legal studies at UCF. This position is meaningful, it's people-centered, and it has real impact on our community. And I would be honored to contribute my skills, experience, and passion to student government. My initiative is called Awareness and Outreach for Impartial Advising, and its goal is simple: to make student advising more accessible and approachable. Right now, many students only learn about impartial advising after they're already facing a very stressful conduct or a grade dispute. By that point, they often feel overwhelmed and unfamiliar with the process. I want to mitigate that by transforming impartial advising from a student's last resort to a first choice resource. My initiative focuses heavily on accessibility and transparency. I plan to create plain language flowcharts and FAQs that clearly explain the appeals process, key deadlines, and how students can request an advisor. I also want to expand outreach through tabling events and social media campaigns centered around relatable student scenarios, which would be in collaboration with the Executive Branch's Division of Communications Director and Digital Media and Graphic Design Coordinators. In addition, I would like to humanize the judicial branch. Short Meet the Justices videos, simplified path of appeal walkthroughs can make the branch feel less intimidating. I also believe impartial advising deserves its own dedicated page on the judicial branch website so students can easily locate resources without confusion. And I would work with the precedent committee to achieve this. What makes this initiative especially important is that it is measurable and it's collaborative. By working with the Judicial Advertising and Marketing Committee, other university offices, and tracking engagement analytics and Night Connect requests, student government can evaluate what outreach strategies are effective and where these gaps still exist. Most importantly, this initiative strengthens trust between students and all of student government. It ensures students understand their options and the resources available to them long before they ever need them. Supporting this initiative means supporting a more transparent, student-centered, and connected university community. If confirmed, my next steps would be to turn this initiative into action. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I yield the remainder of my time for questioning.
All right, thank you. And we're now in line for 5 minutes of questioning. Any questions for the candidates? Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debate. Chair Gaudio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was when this candidate first rolled through E&A, I asked them a statutory question, which they did not know the answer to. And unlike many other candidates we get, they actually did follow up with me on an email. So that right there's a winning attitude in my book.
Vice Chair Capino.
Not to speak about the candidate too much, but I think that this candidate is perfect. I think that she has great qualifications. I can speak to her competency. I think that this is a great opportunity for this candidate, and I'll be voting in favor. Urge everyone to vote the same.
Senator Barrios.
Sorry, move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 32 to 0 to 0, Sheridan Munak is confirmed for Associate Justice seat number 2.
Thank you all.
Next, we have Daniel Cadenas for Associate Justice seat number 5, and we'll be moving into 5 minutes of questioning. Any questions for the candidates? Senator Barrios?
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. And a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debate. Senator Bove.
I will say during E&A, the candidate demonstrated a clear understanding of the responsibilities and duties of Associate Justice. I believe they're a great fit for the position, so I motion to move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 32 to 0 to 0, Daniel Cadenas is confirmed for Associate Justice seat number 5.
Thank you, Senators.
All right, and last we have Nisha Francois for Associate Justice seat number 14.
Good evening, Senate. My name is Naisha Francois, and I am a rising junior from Miami, Florida, and majoring in international and global studies on an international relations track. I want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone for making the time to meet my fellow appointees and me. I understand this process requires a dedicated amount of time, and I am honored to have this opportunity to introduce myself today. This past year, I served as the student director of the Multicultural Student Center, one of our SG agencies at UCF. In this role, I manage operational resources and support for over 40 student organizations, leading a 12-member executive board and navigating our governing documents taught me how to maintain accountability and institutional integrity under pressure. Because MSC is a cultural programming agency, my leadership centered on ensuring that the diverse communities within our student body and the greater Orlando area were seen, celebrated, and properly represented, whether that be through collaborative events or social media campaigns. Through these initiatives, I learned to adapt my communication style to ensure that every message and action aligns with our agency's mission. This experience built in me a deep commitment to advocacy and taught me what it means to be the brave face and amplifying voice for those that are not properly represented. This passion is what drew me to the judicial branch. While our work environment is different, the core values remain the same: upholding and protecting student rights while actively educating and spreading awareness across campus. My initiatives are constructed around these core values. I call it the Knights' Rights Awareness Campaign. This marketing and outreach strategy is designed to expand the visibility of the judicial branch and the services student government provides as a whole. The campaign will be a mix of digital, physical, and professional exposure. A few specific initiatives that I am excited to share are our video content, trivia nights, and speaker series. The scenario-based video content will feature lighthearted, engaging videos illustrating real-life situations students might encounter, and making the appeal process much more digestible and visually easy to follow through a step-by-step process. Trivia nights will be an interactive event with questions on how student government operates, the student body constitution, and the appeals process, promoting a fun, educational feel. This can be an after-hours or midday event with refreshments or even prizes. Finally, the speaker series. Inspired by the Lounging with the Lawyers event, will host a panel of professionals working in international relations. Organized as a joint collaboration with UCF's Global Perspectives and International Initiatives, this initiative will showcase the diverse career avenues available to students and demonstrate exactly where government and policy-focused studies can take them. Through these initiatives, I hope to strengthen the connection and trust between student government and our student body. Given the size of our university, it is important to make use of all communication channels that we can in order to ensure that no Knight is made unaware of the resources available to them. Thank you all again for your time. I yield the remainder of my time for questioning.
All right, thank you. Now in line for 5 minutes of questioning. Any questions for the candidate? Eli Smith.
Hello. Can you elaborate a little bit on your trivia night initiative and what the trivia would be on? I don't know if you've thought that far.
So for trivia nights, it would be more of lighthearted, oh, what are the 6 articles referenced in our Constitution? Do you know how to file for an appeal for parking, grade forgiveness, fee appeal? So kind of basic need to know things on anything related to student government.
Senator Barrios.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in 5 minutes of debate. Senator Callis and then Senator Gregg.
I thought the candidate was very well spoken, has a really great resume, and also the platform proposal is written like a piece of legislation. So that shows the legislative know-how. I think that alone shows it. And I really love the proposals given, so I'll be voting in favor.
Yeah, to kind of just echo those thoughts, I think this candidate had a very good speech, very good questions asked during A&A, answered all the questions great, and will make a great associate justice. And with that, I move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. All right, with a vote count of 33 to 0 to 0, Naisha Francois is confirmed for Associate Justice seat number 14.
Thank you, Senate.
And that's all we have for confirmation. So congratulations again to all of our new justices. We will move into internal legislation. Notice of legislation on first reading. I hereby remand Internal Bill 5801 to LJR. I hereby remand Internal Bill 5802 to LJR. Resolutions, I hereby amend Resolution 5801 to LJR and Resolution 5802 to LJR and Resolution 5803 to SBA. Okay, Senate Forum, Vice Chair Capinos.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to speak on some tabling materials that I got today. So it is essentially this giant trifold that I got for the office. It can be used for tabling for SBA, but obviously if we want to do events and things like that, it has a Velcro back. So you can print out posters from the spot and you can literally, it's about like this large. You can take a look at it. It's in the SG office, but I just wanted to make the body known about it in case you guys had any questions or wanted to use it. I brought it in. It came from the Lead Scholars Academy. So,
Eileen Matthews.
If anyone wants to know where it's stored, it's like up against a cabinet. And if you guys need help with it or want to use it, just let us know.
Senator Reyes.
Sorry. A question for you. So I saw it. Wow, that's all I can say. Would you be open to possibly working with the student union towards having that on all the floors? Because I didn't know something like that existed. And the fact that you were able to find that, and it is like, I don't know why it shocked me as such an innovative piece of technology is crazy, but I understand its potential.
yeah, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about how else it could be used. I could foresee it be used for events and possibly from cabinet and from judicial for anyone that might still be here in the teams. Is that it? Yeah, I foresee it being utilized. It can be rented out. I can talk to Ashley about that and what that might look like for the process of doing that if it wants to be rented out from other branches or other parts of the union. But thank you for that question.
Chair Gaudio.
For those of you who don't already know, I brought food and I want all of it gone by the end of the night.
Any other senators wishing to speak in Senate Forum? Seeing none, Senate deliberation. We have Senator Barrios. Again, if you just want to briefly introduce the topic, and then we'll have 20 minutes of which we can use as much or as little as we'd like.
All right, so I have a thing that I'm going to read off of. But before I do that, I highly encourage you just to speak. Start practicing speaking in front of large audiences. I promise you, I am the most introverted person in this room. Don't contest me on that. I promise you I am. All right, let's get started. Good evening, Senate. Today, I would like to discuss the proposed $20 million budget bill that we will eventually be voting on. Like the federal Congress, one of the most important responsibilities that we hold is the power of the purse. Through this budget, we have the opportunity to determine where student dollars are invested and ultimately what priorities we want to support as a Senate body. As a senator, my goals are aligned with creating tangible benefits for basic needs like food, shelter, transportation, well-being, and similar issues. There are various capacities by which we can support these goals, but I believe the ability to amend the budget is our main source of change. My hope is that through this deliberation, we can identify both areas of consensus and areas where there has to be more discussion. The purposes of this conversation is not simply to determine whether we support or oppose certain budget lines, but to ensure that the final product reflects the needs and priorities of the students we serve. I now yield my time for discussion.
Vice Chair Capinos.
Just to clarify on what we're speaking about tonight, do you have an idea of like how this would go into the decision making of the ASNF budget committee, or what? If you could just I know you talked about it, but could you elaborate a little bit further?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not in the mindset for writing a speech today, so I apologize for not being clear. But basically, one of my plans as a senator, which I'm not going to elaborate too much on the project because it's not done, but I want to create a financial aid committee. And to do that, we as a body have to agree where we're going to find the money to support that. And so I want us to discuss like what actions or steps are necessary for us to agree on changing the budget. Like what resources must be attained for us to come to a consensus on a topic. It doesn't even have to specifically be for this financial aid committee. I'm just trying to see what is going to change our mind. Sorry.
I'll go in the order that I think they came out. So I've got Eileen Matthews, D-Lake Havegood, D. Swamonson.
I think just for the sake of our new senators, we should have the previous chair of the budget explain the budget a little bit, just like a couple details so people know exactly what we're talking on.
Yes. So I was the former ANSF Budget Committee Chair. And basically, the ANSF Budget Committee, for those that do not know, is a committee made up of student government agents as well as students at large that the student body president appoints to that committee. And basically, throughout the fall semester, they come up with a budget packet that then gets sent out to all of our agencies and departments and student government branches that they basically fill out to determine what their proposed budget is going to be. The chair will work with the comptroller of the university to get the numbers for that year to determine what percent increase or decrease that agency or department might have to work with. And then the budget committee will basically propose a packet that then gets submitted with a specific set of instructions for what their operations might be. OPS, that's paying for their student employees, paying for their full-time employees, things like that of that nature. And then in December, there is a budget hearing where all of the agencies and departments, student government branches will come and present their packets to the committee, and they will approve or deny them, most likely pending all of the research that is done by each committee's members liaison to that agency. And then once that budget hearing is over in the winter, that is turned into a giant budget bill, and that is where all the budget lines that were mentioned is then voted on in a special session where only that budget bill is seen in February, and we'll go through each line. The ANSF chair typically runs that meeting where we'll go through each agency, department, branch again, showcasing the budget, and that is when the final changes would need to be made before it is signed and sent off. So that's a little bit about the budget committee. There are 3 senator at large positions. That's a later election, but we do have control over voting on that legislation.
I'll just briefly note also that Senate won't be seeing this budget until February. I can't speak for whoever the ANSF chair will be, but I certainly plan to make sure that there are informal times outside of Senate for us to speak about Senate's budget for those that are interested and to learn about just the budget generally. So nothing certainly needs to be decided in the next 15 minutes, but I guess it's a good time to have a discussion about it. I think I said D-Leg Hapgood next.
Sorry, this is for Barrios. What do you, by a financial aid committee, do you mean like a committee that would, what do you mean by that? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Okay, so I don't want to go too much in depth in it because like I said, the idea is not ready. And if I present it to you all right now, you would vote no, and I wouldn't blame you. But the financial aid committee will be something that provides grants to students. So think of how Student Care Services operates with their emergency funding, but to a lesser degree than they do. That's the best explanation I can give.
Deeser Montanez and then Chair Gaudio.
Okay, bear with me. Like I know you don't want to go too into that. When you say committee, do you mean like a part of the 7? Like, wait, okay, so we have our is my question does my question make sense to anybody else? Like a part of the 7 on top of like FAO, CRT, and the scholarship committee that we have on top of that?
Yes.
Thank you. So there's been kind of a lot of questionings poking at the specific idea, but with regards to an actual because the discussion is regarding what would it take to move the money amount, to generate consensus. So when it comes to that, the particular idea doesn't really matter. That bridge can be crossed when we get there. So speaking for myself, and I'd hope that some others could agree, it's that in my mind, the chief question is, where is the money going and what is it doing? Because we send a lot of money to a lot of different programs. $21 million is a lot to keep track of constantly. Now, the benefit of the doubt is something that should be afforded. If we want to have a new program or have a substantive shift between programs, in my opinion, it's that we need for one, there has to be audits. There has to be homework to look at individually. Where is all of this money going? What is it? What is the end product of this money? And if we were to cut this to fund another program, then we need to decide, are those cuts, the impact they directly have on students, is it less than what this new program will bring about? And so because of that, in my opinion, right, because of that benefit of the doubt, because of this is how things have kind of always worked, I would want homework. I personally would not agree to substantive changes if the ramifications aren't considered by either bringing light to waste or directly targeting, like, this program that is funded is not as useful as this other thing, and here is why. If that's not addressed, then in my opinion, I don't think there can be a consensus on, yes, we should have those shifts.
Senator Bove, Vice Chair Capinos.
So inform me if I'm wrong. I'm a new senator. So I would assume that the budget, previously is always probably jam-packed, every last dollar spent. So I guess I'm wondering, is the idea like to move money from one place to another, or try to find a way to expand the budget? Like I said, I'm new, so I'm not really too familiar with the process.
So as it stands, it's more so to move the budget lines around. And the reason I need to stress this right now, the reason that I am doing this so early is so you guys have this in your mind, and we're not doing a 2-hour thing where it's a back and forth and nothing has changed. That happened in the last session. And from my personal experience, from witnessing students, there needs to be substantial change that student government does to directly benefit students. The amount of times I have been at UCF already, and I have seen students crying because they cannot afford school and they have to be kicked out of their housing, is horrible. And I think to myself, what can we do to help this student? But there are only so many opportunities that UCF can provide. There's so many opportunities that the federal government can provide. And so I just think we need to be having this conversation so we can see how we can best support these students, and we're not at the last minute trying to decide where we should put this money when there are issues like that present happening right now.
Go Vice Chair Capinos, Senator Gregg, Chair Gaudio, and we are at 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'm not sure that this pertains fiscally, so this is why I'm mentioning it. And I'm not sure who else is aware of this, but at the state legislature, we were denied preeminence funding, which means that we were expecting to get $10 million to raise the salaries of other faculty and staff at the university that we are no longer receiving. Now, to us, it's like, okay, well, I don't know if you guys were aware that we're going to get that money in the first place or not, but the university is going through a hard time and a hard change of saying, well, where is this money going? Because AS&F fees are vital, right? I mean, they haven't had salary increases, and AS&F fees, you have to be careful on how we raise them and how we change them and go about that. I wanted to speak about the budget hearing and saying that it's one big bill, and I'd like to hear Ryan's opinion on this too, as the previous chair of the AS&F committee. But when we have the special session of looking and reviewing over this one giant bill, this giant packet, I think that it would be in the best interest of the legislative body to have more time to review it and have a longer process of reviewing it. I don't know what goes into changing that or how that would go, and I would have to look at statutes and look at precedent and see what we have done in the past. But to your point of saying that we spoke for 2 hours, nothing really changed. And I'm not saying that the AS&F committee isn't responsible for doing that, and I don't doubt in their abilities to be able to create a packet that have substantial information backing behind it. To Chair Gaudio's point of saying that if we want to change something substantially, we would need homework, we would need proof, we would need data. And I think that having more time to overview their processes and budget, other than even attending the meetings, which I expect some people to do even on their own free time, I think that having a little bit more formality in that process could be good in really making some substantial change, to his point. But thank you for your time. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, what I'll say about that in response to that is the meeting in December when all the budget packets are due, or what I'll say about the budget packets first is there were a lot of changes to the budget packets this year as compared to last year that just made it easier for us to kind of see all the numbers and changes from previous years, and just made it more convenient for the agencies and departments. And then when we got to the budget hearing in December, it is open to public. It is live streamed. Anyone can come watch it. And there were no real changes, anything. We got through all of the entities in less than 5 hours, and we were able to add almost everyone's wish list items back onto their budget requests. As far as after that, we saw at the fifth meeting, or fourth or fifth meeting in the spring semester, and I gave everyone over week 2, or the entire month of January can be looked at, but the bill was ready ahead of time to be able to be looked at, where all the budget packets were available. And I encouraged senators at the previous meetings leading up to the February budget hearing meeting to look over the budget packet. If there were any changes, to come and talk to me or anyone on the committee ahead of time, so that we didn't, end up having any arguments or any like controversial things that happened during the actual Senate meeting. No one came up to me between then and the actual meeting. We did have 4 amendments that were tried to pass. None of them passed. So the budget ended up that passed was the budget we started with. So there were no changes between that. But the budget committee itself, did see a lot of good changes through the things we did.
Senator Gregg.
2 questions, if I may. All right. So my first question, and this kind of was along Senator Capinos' point, during the ANSF budget hearing, could we have the ability to maybe not go 100 line items, but could we break it down into maybe 5 parts we each vote on as separate bills to kind of make things more individualized, or for senators to be able to pick through easier during Senate?
As far as the actual final bill goes, it does need to be one bill. We do vote. We motion to move to the next entity, which means that we looked at each entity and we kind of agree as a body that we are happy with their budget as it stands right now. We could always come back to it. So we do kind of take it entity by entity, and at least for what I did was I pinpointed specific changes that were noticeable. But I think it just is very difficult to have it split up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chair Gadia.
Greg had a second
no,
question.
you're so right. Yeah.
And then my other question was, just as student government, or as the ANSF budget committee, do we have the ability to, recommend, say, we have this entity and we don't think they need as much funding as they're requesting, or to say, hey, we want an audit on what you're doing, why you have this many employees, right, or something like that, or why you're paying this much and whatever, and then to say, we don't think we should be funding that with the ANSF.
Yeah, the committee is definitely allowed to have those conversations and make those decisions. Each of the members of the committee is assigned one entity to work really closely with, and they are expected to kind of know, line by line, like you were saying, about what it means and where it's kind of going. As far as auditing goes, that's what the finance office is for. They audit. The comptroller works with that team of people to audit the different entities to ensure that proper spending is being done. But and those records are available, and over the past few years, and they can be used to make those decisions as well.
Chair Gadia, there's 3 minutes and change.
Yes. So I guess because there's a little confusion on what exactly all this entails, right? The idea was brought up of expanding the budget. That's not really a thing. The activity and service fee is set. That's how much money we get. And you can't really raise that, because basically to raise the activity and service fee would require both the university president and the student body president to agree to look into raising it. They have to form a committee. Committee submits a recommendation, and then the student body president and the university president have to sign off on it, and then the board of trustees has to approve it. The board of trustees will never approve that, because the board of governors has explicitly told all the board of trustees that you are not to raise your fees or tuition. It's just not happening. As for if the student body senate as a collective really decided hey, we want to look more into this, hey, we want to push an audit, technically, we can push off the budget bill to another. It would still have to be a special session, but we could technically do a second one. And we do have the authority to issue a subpoena. The authority of that depends on who you're asking, but like, these are some of the things we can do.
Mr. Speaker, may I make a motion for time for deliberation?
I'm under the impression that that's not in order. Chair Gaudio may know better than me.
The time limit on Senate deliberation is outlined in a Senate rule. So if we were to suspend the rules, we could expand the timeline.
Senator Barrios.
Move to temporarily suspend the Senate rules.
I object.
Do you withdraw?
Yes, I do.
I raise
We have a minute and 30 if there's any. Yeah, Caleb.
Okay, so I'm going to try to make this super quick because this is an important topic. I already emailed the comptroller this morning. To try and audit all the agencies and departments, and I have been taking the proper steps towards getting my specific project done. But I just want to make sure that I'm not doing all of this just for us to go down the road and say, hey, no. In addition to that, I'm going to be outside very frequently, contacting students. I've already been working with my professors to get survey results. Something I found crazy that I'm going to do is I'm going to contact schools across Florida from the West Coast to the Midwest to the Northeast to see how they do it and to see what we can possibly add or what could be changed to the budget. Because like I was saying, this is important. There needs to be a new level of empathy and a redirect on how the Senate approaches the budget. Because like I was saying, it is really bad right now, and we need to be there for students directly. So that's all I'll say with the little time.
And you ended with 5 seconds left, so it was a good cap. I will say I'm glad to hear so much interest in the budget. Myself and Ryan Ryan was chair and I was vice chair of the committee last session, so we'd both gladly speak to anyone who's interested in learning more about it. And again, February is when the special session is, so there's plenty of time for those conversations. We'll go to advisors report. Ashley.
Happy Thursday, good people. Happy to see wonderful faces once again, both virtual and in person. There's not much for me this week. I've just been doing 8 million one-to-ones with all of you wonderful individuals that I've been able to, and those will continue in perpetuity. Outside of that, you'll see a couple things in terms of opportunities and or events that were shared my way. First is the UCF Remembers event that is being put on for campus. That is in recognition of the Pulse tragedy that happened here in Orlando 10 years ago. You'll see I linked the flyer and some quotes about information that was shared with me about the memorial site that will be available from 10 to 5, as well as when the actual program will take place. So if folks have the time and feel inclined to drop by, feel free to do so. If you are not aware, OSI is taking on a new program called Lead 2. And so this is an opportunity for folks to expand what leadership engagement looks like on campus. And so Amanda Dever, who you all have seen over and over again, is the person in charge of that program. And they are hiring leadership consultants. That link, it was acting finicky for Amanda, so I'll link that tomorrow. Those students, Jimmy is one, are in charge of leading different leadership workshops across campus, whether it be for student organizations, departments that work with students, as well as some other tasks related to the Lead 2 program. That position is paid and they work around 10 hours a week. The second opportunity you see there is for the advisory council or for ambassadors. That's really like a brain trust to help guide what that program will look like since it's in its inaugural year, right? So for that entity, it is unpaid, it's voluntary, but they are hiring for and taking people, onboarding people on a rolling basis for those two positions. So there's no official close date. They're going to keep interviewing students until they find their lot. And then from that point, they're going until they're done. Question.
Do you know if Amanda was a part of like Lead Scholars, like the program before this? I
terms
know
of-
that she's and I think you said she was like in charge of it or like a part of in charge of
Lead Two? Yes.
Yeah. Do you know if she was a part of Lead Scholars prior or do you know?
Working there, no.
Okay.
She's always been an OSI.
Okay.
Yes.
Is the position paid?
Well, the leadership consultant position is paid. For the advisory board, that is a voluntary role. Yes. Jimmy.
May I speak on the lead two, just really quickly?
Sure.
I just want to encourage anyone who's interested. I am fortunate enough, as Ashley said, that I was selected for the position. I think that it's a great way for you to make a change in leadership here at the university. They're taking on people. It is paid. It's about 7 to 10 hours a week. I encourage you guys to do it because, as Ashley was saying, it's in its inaugural year, so it has the ability to be changed a lot. And I think that if you are interested in making change at the university, then this would be a great opportunity for you. And if you feel like that's too much time, still join the council ambassador program because that's being revamped too. I also had a quick question for you, Ashley. I tried to use the link for the UCF Remembers 26 and it's not allowing me. I don't know if that's giving a problem to anyone else, but
Yeah, you have to use your UCF email. It did the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Any other questions about that before I go to my national days of? Oh, excitement. Okay. Okay. So my favorite part of the evening are national days of are. Drum roll, please. All right. I have one for each type of person. It is National Corgi Day for folks that are fans of corgis, but it's also National Hug Your Cat Day for our folks that are cat people. And since like June is the month of everything under the sun, and so it is also National Candy Month if you have a sweet tooth. But yeah, that's it for me.
Any other questions for Ashley? Oh. Seeing none, Maite.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay, so I wanted to give you a reminder about voting issues because I forgot to tell you this last week. But make sure to please send your votes to my student assistant email because I've been getting some of them through my personal one and I lost the track of it if you do that. So please try to send it to the student assistant email. I just put it there so you can see it. Also, I wanted to also make a reminder about the voting. If you want to send the votes, try to do it the same day or the next day because your vote might not be counted if you do it later than that. So yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
Any questions for Maite? Seeing none, we'll go to miscellaneous business appointments. I hereby appoint Nathan Rickett to LJR, and I hereby resign Gabriel Casimiro from CRT. All right, Senator shoutouts. Oh, Eileen Matthews, Senator Barrios.
Okay, I have a couple. First, shout out to Ryan and Zach because they helped us with the merch, uploading it in the agenda before Senate. And shout out to Olivia and Owen because we have been locked in the speaker's office doing this merch stuff. So I hope you guys are all going to enjoy it and have fun tabling. And then shout out to the two people in the back. Thank you guys for staying for the whole entire meeting. And then also shout out to the basketball hoop because you guys should speak in debate so you can shoot into the basketball hoop.
Guys, you already know what I'm going to say. We already know. I am so shocked. It's 8:20. We finished all the confirmations prior to 8:40. Every single time this happens, I feel like a genie. I don't even know what you call it. It's like a bottle. It's not even a bottle, but super proud that we got through that quickly. Super proud for a healthy deliberation. Shout out everyone as a whole. I'm really proud to be working with all of you, and I look forward to all the work that we'll be doing in this session.
Any other senator shoutouts? I got to start remembering to do first names. So Olivia.
Okay. Shout out to Jimmy. You've just been great this meeting. You're making me smile over there. Yeah, super proud of you. Shout out to Zach. I really needed you to come through and you did. So thank you so much for that. Shout out to Owen. The office has been great. Shout out to Ryan. Happy birthday. Yeah, shout out to Cross Branch Collaboration. Yay.
Anna.
Yeah, big shout out to Jimmy. He's been really rocking it in Gab. He asked me so many questions after the Gab meeting. I love teaching about Florida civics and the government. So shout out to you. Shout out to Ryan for your birthday. Shout out Abby and Olivia for all your hard work on the merge. I've been seeing all the effort you guys have put in, and it's been awesome. Shout out Gab.
Gilmore.
I'm hurt that it took you a second to remember, but we're going to ignore that. Shout out to all the people who have already joined the photo circle. If you haven't already, join it already. And future shout out to all the people that are going to put up with me taking a bunch of photos. There's been a few of you guys that I've already taken a bunch of photos of, but get used to it. Yeah.
That was me stopping myself from saying D. Sir Kalamore. I know your name, Trust. Jimmy.
Okay, I'd like to shout out the College of Business. Looking good, looking spiffy. Look at these guys in a suit. Shout out Eric. Shout out the binder over there, Deezer's binder. That is impeccable. I hope that your exam went well. Shout out to Interim Chief and now appointed Chief Justice Koffner. He let me wear a pickle costume, and it was incredible. Shout out to everyone that was in CRT today. Thank you for your trust. Shout out to our amazing leadership, the Deezer, and shout out to your basketball hoop, Owen Sherman. And I just want to shout out to everyone else that's here with us and has their cameras on, and that will be using the trifold board. I'm excited to see what we'll do this session. So thank you guys. Shout out my mentee.
Go Morgan, Aaron, then Victoria.
I'd like to shout out Caleb, first of all, for making that College of Science group chat, just kind of getting on it, and then also just for your efforts, just with the initiatives that you are doing and kind of your just passion.
Shout out to Jimmy for getting elected vice chair of CRT this morning in our meeting, and then also for answering his Jeopardy questions during the meeting.
Victoria?
Yeah, I was going to shout out CRT. We had a really good meeting today. So thank you all for for participating. Also, shout out to Jimmy. I'm excited. You're going to be a good vice chair.
Zach and then Adeline.
I love my committee. You guys are the best, especially the Vice Chair Rubio for giving your best. You're stepping into it with grace, going into it with nothing. Julia Zivin for having a hard week and toughing it out, doing great. Abigail Matthews for always being great.
Okay, shout out Caleb for submitting all of the legislation, like making my job busy, but also I love to see it because I love legislation. So shout out to him. Shout out Ryan for having his birthday. Shout out to Owen's puzzle. I appreciate that puzzle. And shout out to all of Senate exec. You guys are lovely.
Gabe.
Shout out Oris. Since he shouted out CRT, I gotta shout out Oris. Our debates has been good for post funding, and every time we do the verification of VPFs, you guys have been really on top of it. And this is the first time I think that we got Oris reps for both FAO and CRT. So thank you so much for participating. So I don't have to go in there anymore. Thank you guys. But yeah, and shout out Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy didn't shout me out, but it's okay. I shout Jimmy out. Well, not specifically me, but it's okay. And shout out Owen and Ryan. Happy birthday. And Ashley. And Maite. Maite is awesome.
Eric, Olivia, Abby.
I want to shout out Bryce for being awake at 2 a.m. and in the Senate meeting.
Shout out to Anna, just for fun.
Shout out Evan for also being in a Oh, I turned off my own mic. Okay.
Any other senator shots, Jimmy? Oh,
Shout out Gabe Casimiro. Love your hair. And I wanted to shout out your birthday. I didn't get a chance. I'm sorry I wasn't there, but happy birthday. You deserve it. I want to shout out everyone that sang happy birthday earlier. I want to shout out everyone that orchestrated the card. That was really nice. And everyone that signed it. I want to shout out Yusef sitting in the back. That's my mentee from the last session. He's goated. And shout out Owen.
Yeah, shout out Abby and Olivia have been doing really good work on the merch. I know they're working really hard. And shout out everyone who's done the puzzle in my office. It needs to get done. So if you can stop by and help, much appreciated. All right, we have Kaufman's Cradle for the first time.
Debut of the segment. I'm excited. We've got a senator here with us in this picture. Not in the beard. It's the one next to the senator in the beard. I guess we'll just start taking guesses as to who we think it is. We'll do Kayla, Gabe, and Jimmy.
Real quick, are they in this room?
They are in Senate.
I'll let other people guess first.
I think it's Adeline.
All right, one guess for Adeline. Jimmy?
I concur.
Adeline? Did you have a guess? Okay. I guess it's online. Morgan?
Senator Olivia, maybe?
Okay. No one's gotten it right so far. Adeline and Caleb?
Okay, this is kind of a wild guess. Is it Anna, perchance? No, right?
It is not Anna. Caleb?
Is it Abby?
It is Isla Matthews in our debut segment because she practically gave me the idea and I didn't give her credit last week and I felt really bad. So I wanted to honor her in the first segment of Kaufman's Cradle. Be sure to submit your baby pictures if you want them next week. Okay. Maybe like 1 to 4. We'll put like an age range on that, like 1 to 4, so that we can have like a or birth to 4. Like I don't know, throw it up in the air. We'll work out the kinks with the segment as we go.
This is going to be a hit, I can tell. I will take a motion. Vice Chair Capinos.
Motion to adjourn this meeting pending final roll call.
There's been a motion to adjourn pending final roll call and a second. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Chair Gaudio.
Hagenbuck. Reed.
Present.
Olivia Smith.
Present.
Casimiro.
Present.
Capinos.
Present.
Wacker.
Present.
Critchfield.
Present.
Jane. Perez. Kelly. Sherman.
Present.
Danae Smith.
Present.
Belulehi. Gentile. Greg.
Present.
Kaufman.
Present.
Licht.
Present.
McNulty.
Present.
Miller. Patel.
Present.
Rashid.
Present.
Rubio.
Present.
Thompson.
Present.
El Harak.
Present.
Kanuja. Granova. Riggett.
Present.
Hader. Makadia.
Present.
Phillips.
Present.
The person who said present before Phillips, was that Hader or Makadia?
Hader.
Okay, thank you. Boivet.
Present.
Montañez.
Present.
Nunez Ferreira. Wynn.
Present.
Habgood.
Present.
Veronica Perez.
Present.
Barber.
Present.
Barrios.
Present.
Grosso.
Present.
Jones.
Present.
Matthews.
Present.
McRae. Nursimadevra.
Present.
Randa. Sharif.
Present.
Simmons.
Present.
Vieira.
Present.
Zivin.
Present.
Kalas.
Present.
37 out of 49.
Thank you. I adjourn this meeting at 8:30 p.m.
Guys, I have food. Someone's got to eat it.
Wow. I started just like What?